Hello and welcome. I am your host, the I from Last Judgment. Finally, we meet. We're going to have a little discussion today about everything that's going on with the Suez Canal, the Evergreen ship that they keep calling Ever Given in the newspapers and in the news. Why do they keep calling it Ever Given? Its name is Evergreen. Well, I'll tell you why they're doing that. Because they don't want people to catch on to the connection. Alright, this goes deeper than you think. The Egyptian president ordered the cargo ship to be brought to a secure location, and the containers searched one by one. And people say, oh, they're not going to do that. There's like 80,000 containers on there. They're doing it. They're doing it because they know that there's shit on there. They know for a fact. They got 100% factual supporting evidence to prove that there's shit on that ship. And when Donald Trump decided to say the storm is coming and he was going to drain the swamp, this is what he's doing. And there's a lot of rich and powerful elite out there that have the news channels in their pockets, and they don't want them to run a certain story. They want them to run a different story. They've been sidetracking you with all kinds of bullshit in the news. Half the shit lies about overseas. Lies, all lies, okay? Our government has, how shall you say, a noose around your neck, and they got you blindfolded first, though. They got you blindfolded first, and then they put the noose around your neck, and they're leading you to the tree to hang you, and you don't even know it. But they tell you they got a surprise for you. They're leading the sheep to the slaughter. You heard Bill Gates talk about depopulation by vaccine. If you haven't, go check it out. Alright? The CDC, we're going to talk real truth, information here. The CDC decided they were going to do an Event 201 a couple months before a pandemic actually outbreaks. Quite interesting, quite interesting, quite interesting. And now they have to do a vaccine. Oh, quite interesting, quite interesting, quite interesting, right? Well, the bullshit just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Alright? Now they're talking about a COVID pass. One country's using facial recognition. Another country, Israel's using wrist bracelets, kind of like what parolees would wear. I mean, this is beginning. China has got all kinds of people of religion, all different religious backgrounds locked up inside these containers, these white containers, with big like antenna and solar paneling on top to support their electricity inside, and they're side by side. I mean, this is where they're putting people. And now in Alabama on the railroad tracks, those very same cars that are in China, that have been recorded in China, are sitting on the railroad tracks. Those very same cars. And I will make a video showing you the cars sitting on the tracks in Alabama. Just so you have something. I just wanted to make this video in short by saying, hi, I'm your host. And yes, I have a lot of information. A lot. Everything from CERN to this aliens, all right, to the space program that they got going on, to how artificial intelligence is gonna, well, pretty much set itself up in the temple of God, which is in the brain, the pineal gland. It's the face of God, what they called it. And you were told in the Bible that it's the church. The church is the head. And the head of every man is Christ. Okay? And the head of every woman is man, because woman came from man, the rib. Signifies that. But It goes deeper than that. It's a scientific thing. I mean, let me ask you a question. And I know I'm right. And I'm going to prove it to you right here and now, just with one verse. This is why God said that many would try to understand it, the words of this book, but would not. All right? That's why it's a think like child. Now, let me ask you this. What does this mean? When I ask you, go to your room, close your door, and pray in secret, what does that mean? I bet you nobody can tell me that. I'll give you a second more. All right, time's up. It means go to your room, close your door, and pray in secret, because only God knows the secret thoughts of another. What? You can't connect the verses? If you've read the whole Bible, you can connect the verses that are spread out. You can put them together in your head. You don't need the book anymore. Especially when you read it before they changed it with wordplay. And I know what's going on with the earth and why people remember things one way and then the other people remember things the other way. They call it the Mandela effect. Let me explain that to you. Because the closer we get to the end of days, the earth is no different than a body. Right? The earth has a magnetosphere around it. The body has a field around it, a magnetic field as well, in the same instances that the earth does. And everything plays a sequence in vibration. All right, I'm going to break down this vibration thing. Your heart beats at the same time. Your mind sends off its own frequency because it's pumping blood. Your kidneys, they've already tested this theory, and I'm going to break this down to you, how to access your abilities. If your heart is healthy and your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. That's another verse. What does that mean? It means your heart's got to be pure. He said the faith of a mustard seed, you can command that mountain to move and it will do as you say, because nothing will be beyond your control. That's another Bible verse. Let me explain this to you. He's telling you that it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. There's other verses to support it. I've been writing a book. I've been pretty much telling all, it says in Luke, woe to those religious leaders, religious experts, and religious law, or you remove the key to knowledge from the people. How about this? Jacob named the place Peniel, which means face of God. I'll give it to you short. For I've seen God face to face, yet my life has been spared. So he'd been brought up in the flesh, or he'd been brought up in the spirit, which is astral projection, out-of-body experience. The government has decided to give it so many different phrases and meanings for the same thing. So there's so many different words, different wordplay. They're doing wordplay on the people. So people just remain dumb to the fact. So when they say this, they're actually referring to this. Pardon self. You understand what I'm saying to you? Your body runs off of a vibration and a frequency. The earth runs off of a vibration and a frequency. God said the kingdom is within you and all around you. Now, positive energy grows, right? And negative energy attracts negative things, right? Well, could it be possible that we are connected to this earth, and that if love conquers negativity throughout the earth, what do you think is going to happen to our magnetosphere? I think it's going to grow strong. I think it's going to grow outward, and I think it's going to protect us from any possible life-threatening debris from space. And Well, you got quite the opposite with the negative aspect. People on Earth are being really negative, killing each other, doing lots of sinful, bad things. That, well, it's lowering the vibration of the Earth, in turn weakening the magnetosphere. Why do you think the Earth is getting sick and it's getting ready to expel us in a very unique way? Because not only is our magnetosphere shrinking, but we are also attracting the red dragon that travels through the heavens with 3/4 of the stars in its tail that sweeps them down to the earth like pillars of fire. It says that it will roll, the earth will see the stars, the people will see the stars roll up like a scroll. It says that the land would be wiped clean of all structure, pretty much, by the water. Well, the only way that all that stuff could happen is if, and they call it Planet X now, by the way. They call it Nebula, Planet number 9, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It was told to us in the Bible that this thing was coming because of all the negativity on the earth. And it was a devouring fire. And that it would come up from underneath. That nobody would see it until the last minute. Alright? But you would see evidence of it. There would be signs in the sky, in the sun, the moon, the stars. If you people just look at the videos that are surfacing all over the place, there's meteor impacts on a daily now. Over cities, all over countries, 2, 3 of them a day. Actually entering into the atmosphere and exploding. More than they've ever seen, right? And people are starting to record these weird blue glow in the sky and this weird red glow in the sky. Well, that can only be what the Bible and the Hopi Indians and all the other religions were talking about, even the Egyptians. That is the red Kachina and the blue Kachina. Fire and ice. That's right. That's right. So when God said in the Bible He would cast down pillars of fire, the red dragon's tail would cast out pillars of fire, 3/4 of the stars of the earth like pillars of fire. Those are meteors. Alright, and then He says fire and brimstone, fire and ice in the Bible. So you have ice chunks that'll come raining down. We're seeing hail here in the United States and in other countries the size of watermelons. Now, bigger than anything that's ever been recorded. And the news is doing what? All downplaying everything. The fish that are dying off, the marine life that's been dying off for 7 years, they're lying to us, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want us to know what's coming. They've been building bunkers. They don't do that for no reason, right? If there was no danger, they'd be spending that money on making us happy, and we'd all be surviving and living together for free with no need to ever work, because we'd be cultivating and helping one another. But no, it's quite the opposite now. But you got artificial intelligence, which wants to set itself up in the temple of God, which is Neuralink. Think of a parasite. It wants to get into the temple of God. It wants to ascend into heaven. Alright? So, but that's for a different topic. Let's go back to the Evergreen ship that they keep calling Ever Given. What do you think is wrong with that scenario? Hillary Clinton's code name was Evergreen. And a while back they did a news clip on it. You can find it. They found like 14,000 dead babies, pieces and parts inside of an evergreen container. Now they say that they're shipping these alive people too for sex trafficking and other kind of ritual occult type things. But I got news for you. There is a reptilian race, and they do reside among us. There's too much proof of that. And they're getting ready to reveal themselves. And that's the reason why people are going to be locked up. Alright? In these camps and all this shit and tracked, because they don't want no harm coming to them. They want to be able to walk around here without a problem. But let's go back to the missing children. Reptilians need to eat. And what do you think they would eat? Yeah. Especially if they know that the pineal gland secretes some sort of adrenochrome in your blood, which gives them, they feel, supernatural power or abilities. It keeps them young. Maybe it does. Who knows? But is that what the harvest is talked about in the Bible? That they're going to harvest all the evil people of the earth? They can't touch the good people because there's no sin in them. That's why God was trying to say in the Bible, to die is to live. Because if you die in one, you live in another. So if I give up my sinful ways and I start living by the commands, then guess what? That doesn't apply to me. These things smell fear. That's why God says, do not allow fear to enter your heart, because we would be led to our slaughter by our governments. It says even the elect would be deceived if possible. Well, they are being deceived. They're leading us to our slaughter, and they're leading themselves to their slaughter. These things want complete control. And this isn't just a fight from one entity, like the reptilians. No, this is a fight from artificial intelligence, the tall whites, the grays. They all want to proclaim their dominance here. But they know that if they do, what's going to happen? Big war break out, they'll destroy the earth. And then it's useless to everybody. They don't want to do that. Okay, that's why they have not attacked the earth yet, because there's other beings here that live in the earth as well. We call it hollow earth, inner earth, whatever, that have technology that are advanced to keep certain things away or at bay. And there's a treaties going on right here on our own planet. I mean, they got, I don't know how many different species of beings walking around among us, you know. Well, all I know is I would kind of hope to meet one of these reptilian beings and see them in their official form, but not upon my death. No. And these things, they smell fear. That's another reason why God says, don't allow fear to enter your heart, because they smell fear. Now, God calls it the serpent in the Garden of Eden. He didn't call it the snake, the serpent. The serpent. The reptilian would be a serpent. Be a serpent species. You can't be that dumb to figure it out. Alright. I'm gonna end this video. I hope you guys got some information out of this. I'm gonna do some other videos, put some things together. With that being said, love you all. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.